Good morning and welcome to Our Town at Comma Coffee. This morning we're going to be talking to Bonnie Parnell, Assemblywoman representing Carson City, and talking about the special session that just ended. In a second, right now we need to take a little break for our word from our sponsor.
Here's to peace of mind. That's what comes with Carson Tahoe's cardiology services, offering complete cardiac care in the region's newest state-of-the-art environment. Carson Tahoe Regional Healthcare. Here's to your health.
Okay. And we're back. We're here with Bonnie Parnell. Bonnie, we just went through one of these long hour special sessions, and
my eighth, if you can believe it.
Eighth special session.
Special session.
Wow.
I was even rather stunned when I realized that. But
how many terms have you?
I've done 5 terms.
5 terms.
Five terms
eight
and
special
8 special sessions.
Okay, well,
and
so
they've
that's
been very, ranging, covering a lot of topics. Those special sessions were.
Yeah. Well, now this one was particularly tough. So tell us a little bit about. I'm not sure even where to start.
I'm not either, except I'll start with the good news first.
Yeah.
And the good news is at least we finished in 6 days. I think all of us would have liked to have been able to just get in and get out to save the state a little more money, but the issues were so severe that we just could not have done that. It's really kind of miraculous that we were able to do, I think, a very, very good job in the amount of time that we had.
Yeah.
I think another thing that was really, that I feel real positive about is how everyone came together. I mean, the governor was there for numerous hours on Saturday. We had the Republican leadership from both houses and the Democratic leadership from both houses in with the governor. And when you look at the final bill, AB 6 was the big budget bill, the reconciliation bill. I shouldn't use that word, I guess, right now in a political
We'll really confuse everybody.
But where it had both the expenditures and the revenue is what I mean by that bill, AB 6. The final vote in the Senate was 20-1, 1 Democrat voting against it.
Wow. And
in the Assembly it was 34-8 with 8 Republicans voting against it. So by far the majority by far the majority of members of both houses realized that it was as good as we could do considering the circumstances.
Wow. Now maybe I got the wrong impression. It seemed that Governor Gibbons was maybe more conciliatory this time and maybe more willing to negotiate than he was during the last regular session.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think he really stepped up to the plate and came to the building and talked to leadership, and we started from, we really used kind of an interesting tack this time. We started with what was called the ugly list. And that was what you heard leading into the session. We're going to cut this from mental health, and we're going to cut the disabled off services, and we're going to hurt the personal home care attendants, and just all those tragic things. And then on top of that, additional cuts to K-12 and higher ed, which both really suffered during the last session. So we started with the ugly list, and almost by consensus, at times just raising our hands on the floor of chambers does everybody agree we cannot do this? And there was a lot of consensus even at that level. And in the meantime, the governor had even recanted on some of what was in his original proposal as far as cutting. So we all came together, even from the very beginning, at the agreement that there were just absolutely some things we could not do. And then we went into the K-12 higher ed. Do we do the maybe a little over 10%? Do we do the 5%?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll take a break right now for a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Great.
We know finding our Classy Seconds thrift store may be a bit of a challenge, so here's Katie Reamer to help you find us.
When you're heading up Carson, turn right on Hot Springs. When you get to Big O Tires, keep going. Go a quarter mile and turn right at our sign.
And once inside, you'll find one of Carson City's hidden treasures of men's and women's clothing, furniture, dining and cookware, books, sporting goods, and more. Classy Seconds, 411 Hot Springs, where the sign points the way.
And we're back here with Bonnie Parnell, and continue our discussion about this special session. You're talking about the K through 12 funding. How did it fare? It
ended up at, again, we went from a little over 10%. The Democrats won at 5%. The Republicans came back with a 7.5%. We ended up with a 6.9% cut.
Okay.
I think everybody felt relatively okay about that. We also passed three actually education-related bills on top of that. One was allowing flexibility in our school districts with class size reduction, and one was allowing flexibility with the textbook expenditures. I certainly recognize we don't need new textbooks every year. That's an area where we can probably save some money.
Yeah.
And then I think higher ed certainly was, you know, how can you be okay with anything? But considering what it might have looked like, I think everybody walked away pretty pleased. With regards to state employees, I do want to take a minute to really compliment their leadership. They have been at the table since the beginning of the 2009 session, saying, we know we need to give something. Can we work together? We were able to keep open the state prison, which helps Carson City business.
Here for Carson City, yes.
And I think the final, the end game was that the state employees received no additional furlough hours.
Yeah.
So they did not get an additional cut. So I was kind of there as the Carson City representative saying business in Carson is really going to be hurt if we do this.
Right.
So I think business will be pleased that we were able to do what we could do for state employees.
Okay. So what was the high moment of this whole affair that they went through these 6 days? What did you see that really made you feel good about what happened?
Well, and I did feel good because, you know, when we really have tough times, we are still a state where both parties can come together. Again, the governor helped by coming to the table and not having that concern about what's going to be vetoed.
Yeah.
All of that, we got through that. So at the end, we really did what we could do, I think, and we did the best we could do in the shortest amount of time, and I feel good about that.
So, and then now going forward, I mean, you've patched the hole, you know, at least the leaky boat.
Yes.
Of state. Now,
we did another Band-Aid.
So where do we need to go from here? What do you think?
Well, you know, there's a committee that's working now to look at really our broad-based taxes. Do we really have enough revenue generating to maintain essential services in this state? And I think that report will come out prior to the 11th session, and I think that will kind of determine a new conversation in that 11th session, because remember, a lot of the taxes that were passed in 2009 will sunset, and we have no federal stimulus to another patch, so it's going to be a whole new ball game.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming and sharing with us today. And
enjoyed it.
Thank you for tuning in. Catch us the next time on Our Town at Comma Coffee.
Experience the neighborhood business atmosphere at the Clearview Center in South Carson City at Clearview and South 395. Carson City Closeout, your neighborhood discount store. Famous retail merchandise overstock at the absolute lowest price possible. Straw Hat Pizza, your neighborhood pizza place. Genuine California pizza. Family dining. Birthday parties, call 883-5006. Dream Dinners, your neighborhood healthy buffet, bringing people together again around the dinner table in a healthy way. Call 841-3663. Yes, it's a beautiful day in the business neighborhood at the Clearview Center in South Carson City, Clearview Drive and South 395. Come visit us soon.